getting into this first match. Yeah, you said you had a bit of a personal connection here. You're right next to Howard Community College, and you said you have a friend at Nova.
My girlfriend actually went to Nova, and she's watching the stream right now. So I hope her team goes down. No bias, of course, but I'm just rooting for my hometown boys. You know how it is. Go Dragons.
Yes, I completely understand that. I'm very excited to see what how this match goes. This, of course, is a best of 3, so we're gonna have a couple of matches to watch. First off, of course, is gonna be Escort on Watchpoint Gibraltar. As we get into this game, I'm so excited. Any strats that you think we might see here at Watchpoint Gibraltar?
I think Gibraltar is one of those maps that it's really important to secure that high ground on all 3 points of the map. So it's pretty much going to be who, for me personally, I think is going to be who takes that high ground a little bit better. Of course, we're going to have to see how they play out because you could do a lot of different things in Overwatch,
Yeah.
But the sight lines, by staying like on top of airplane, on top of this bridge, for example, setting up on top of the blue box on first point and giving them that bridge space is very important on Gibraltar.
Yeah. And it looks like we are going to see a little bit of that high ground sniping action as we see Optimal playing on the Ashe, gonna look for the high ground. We also see a Genji. We see a Genji on both sides. I haven't seen a lot of Genji in collegiate play recently. Do you think it's more of a comfort pick? Is there a reason why both teams are picking up the Genji?
I think so like I said earlier with the high ground potential, you really need to force the other team off of the high ground. And Genji Tracer, especially with the tank dive comps that they're both running, this Winston Diva, it just complements the whole team comp very well.
Yeah, definitely going to see some aggressive play as we see the Tracer running and instantly trying to just get some damage on the team.
With a good contesting of the high ground and the payloads being pushed, we're seemingly just having a nice neutral game right now.
Oh my gosh. Tracer trying to get behind the payload for cover, but gonna get sniped out by the Ashe. There we go.
And yeah, Optimal doing a really good job of making sure no one is allowed to stay on this blue box.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. We were talking about the fight for high ground. Optimal not even trying to go to the high ground, just taking this point, just trying to get some snipes off, and it's working effectively as the rest of the teams are fighting up top for that high ground.
Winston Loke making out barely, and we're just contesting payload.
Yeah, got to be careful. Ana is going to be the first with ultimate. That Nano going to be very influential for this next fight. Probably waiting for the Genji to get ult, as the Genji's at 87 right now. Winter going to have that Nano Blade soon. Can be very influential into this next fight. Oh, man, these grenades from Ashe are absolutely insane. Getting so much value out of them.
This is a really good dive on blue box. Pushing Ashe off, but still. Oh. Optimal staying relatively safe with his Mercy pocket. Being very hard to deal with. We have a 3-man dive on Ashe Mercy.
Yeah, Bob's going to go down. Tracer's also going to throw down Pulse Bomb. Not going to get anything for it. Winston is going to pop ultimate as well. Ults are just going left and right, but it looks like the red team's just going to start pushing it in here. Not much that the blue team or Chipmunk can do or Chip Milk can do as he gets demeched and taken down.
I'd say that was a really excellent dive by Nova. Really pushing Ashe and Mercy off of the high ground and Winston just jumping in. I think that was just a really good dive by Nova.
Yeah, I completely
securing the first 2 picks.
Yeah, and they still have some ults to use. They still have the Dragon Blade. They still have Beat. So they're not done with it yet, as Winston gets the Nano from HCC here. Wow, again, a very hectic fight here. Optimal is going to pick up the monkey. Lots happening. Dragon Blade's gonna come out. Dragon Blade's gonna find 2 actually here.
And that's gonna hold off the attack for, you know, a couple seconds. Wow, what a blade.
Yeah. Talk about getting some use out of that, getting able to get 2 picks here, as well as just stopping that push overall, making it Nova reset, go back to their spawns. By this point, Nova has the ult advantage. They still have beat, they still have blade, so HCC's got to be careful, especially as they get dived on up top on plane.
Nova diving in on the blade. Blade coming out from Winter. Can he get a pick?
He gets 1, but I think that's all he's going to get. Pulse Bomb comes out again, not finding anything. Now there's Diva Bomb as well. Gotta be careful. So many ultimates are being used, and Nova still comes out on top. And with that, Diva Bomb's just trading. Oh my gosh, the mech kill from Sham. They were hunting for that one. I saw them in the corner here. Ghost is gonna win out in the Ana battle as well. Nova is just overpowering HCC right now. There's not much they can do.
Oh, beautiful sleep.
Oh, as I speak, Optimal's gonna throw down the Bob, get a kill on Tracer, and actually be able to hold off on this Nova push. They still gotta be careful as the Ana does have Nano, but for the moment, the push has been quelled.
I'd say Nova is doing a very good job of really taking this first pick and pushing the payload a little further.
Yeah.
You can see there's a lot of pressure with the dive tanks getting onto the backline of HCC.
Yeah,
being extremely hard to deal with.
Yeah, it definitely seems very difficult for HCC to deal with. These fights are very hectic, and it seems to benefit Nova as Winter gets 2 with the Dragon, the Nano Blade here. Winter is eventually going to get taken down, though. A minute remaining for Nova to push the cart a little bit further and get this second point. 3 picks out on the side of Nova here. Sham going to take out the Winston. Sham also going to take out the Brigitte. And I think this is going to be the second point for Nova. It is. Yeah, Nova's just doing...
continuing to get more ground.
Yeah. They're doing such a good job of just jumping in, taking out the important picks. Oh my gosh, Chip Milk's gonna eat the Tracer Bomb. Unfortunately, this Tracer has been struggling to get any utility out of the Pulse Bomb. It's either been eaten, a little misclick, a throw a little off. Not able to get too much out of it. But regardless, Nova is just gonna still be pushing forward. We got a McCree. Oh, gonna find 2! Perfect. And Optimal, the change into McCree and able to get build ult very, very quickly in order to get that Deadeye, get 2 kills out of it. HCC looking very pretty with 4 ultimates in their pocket. They can do a lot here opposed to the 2 for Nova. Just got to be careful. They got to protect their backline here. HCC keeps losing their backline. They have to protect them at all costs. Winter's coming in with the Dragon Blade. Gonna find 1. I think that's it. Beat's gonna come out for Nova as well. Dragon Blade on HCC's coming out as well. Trades are just coming back and forth. Sham's gonna find 1 and D-Mech Chip Milk. Optimal just being left alone in the back so they can throw off some pop shots here.
Honestly, Optimal is really holding it down with his positioning.
Yeah.
The dive tanks are having a really hard time reaching the backline with where he's standing in the middle, especially with this high noon. Pushes them back and gives them a couple more seconds.
Yeah, it gives them some extra time. What I would have really liked to see is, since they kind of forced them into that room, if HCC could have pounced on that, done something to capitalize on that. Oh, finally, Tracer's going to stick 1. It's not going to get the pick, though. And now everyone's out of ultimates. It's just going to be a straight free-for-all here. These teams, again, these sleeps are insane. Wow. Optimal really trying to capitalize on the sleeping Tracer. Monkey gonna win out against Monkey here as Monkey ult comes out. Winston's gonna ult, get 2. Optimal is going to pick up one as well, and now we're in overtime. It's going to be very difficult for Nova to do anything. They just need to keep touching, but as I say that, HCC is going to clear him off.
Wow.
Yeah.
HCC holding Nova off from capping the 3rd point of Gibraltar.
Yeah, can you give us some insight on that last match? It seemed like Nova was doing such a good job of pushing in, constantly moving forward. What happened at the end there? Why weren't they able to kind of finish it off?
First off, I would say that Gibraltar is a very difficult map to complete. Like, to get that 3rd point, it's just there's a lot of high ground opportunities for the defense and just better rotations overall, and spawn advantage. It's just Gibraltar 3rd point is just very difficult. A lot of teams actually do not complete the map.
Yeah,
which is totally fine. But it just seemed like I said HCC was just utilizing the positioning a little better. The backline wasn't getting touched. McCree was getting free shots in, and it was just really hard to deal with. To close that space for the offense.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think also HCC was able to use the high ground more on that last point there. They were up at the top on that bridge there a lot more. They were using that height elevation advantage, unlike in this first point where they kind of got rocked off of this high ground. They were pushed back, and Optimal, as we saw, was over here on the ground just taking shots at people, not really able to use the elevation to their advantage.
I do think it was a really excellent first half.
Yeah.
Every point was capped with around like 30 seconds, a minute left, so it was very comfortable for both teams until the end. But that's just Gibraltar.
I completely agree. I'm very excited to see how Nova will do on the defense. We see a switch up already. Winter instead of the Genji is on the Widowmaker. We also have an Echo instead of a Tracer. Very interesting team comp, and I'm excited to see if we can get some headshots here from this Widow. Oh, as I speak, it comes into existence. Oh my god!
Beautiful shot.
And that's exactly what Winter needs to do. They need to keep putting out these headshots, need to keep putting out picks in order to make this Widowmaker relevant. Speaking of relevant, though, the Brigitte is going to find a D-Mech and a kill after that. Whew, Winter taking the battle against the McCree and winning.
And despite being pushed back and technically losing that fight, the payload still got pushed on the bridge, which I think is a win for HCC.
Oh my gosh.
Nova with 2 huge picks on HCC. HCC is probably going to have to back up for this one.
Yes, they are. This Widowmaker is definitely becoming more influential than I gave them credit for at first. Winter hitting these shots. This is very fun to watch. And of course, we're going to see wall hacks coming out from Widowmaker as well. Now they can see all of, oh my gosh, all of the enemy team here.
Huge dive coming in from HCC.
Yeah, just trying to fight for this high ground here. Brigitte doing a good job just keeping them back, keeping them off. As they run down the Genji in the backline, Echo's gonna switch into Winston, trying to get that ultimate. And like that.
Whoa, what a diva bomb.
What a diva bomb indeed. Able to find out one of the healers for HCC. And Sham putting in a lot of work, making sure that both healers are put down as the Winston takes out the enemy Winston on HCC side. And Nova's just cleaning him up right now.
Yeah, 2 minutes left on the clock. I would have to say that was a really good dive by HCC. However, it took a little too long and Nova was really able to recollect and punish the divers.
Yeah. And again, diving can be very, very effective. You can play very, very quickly, very, very aggressively, especially in a game mode that is based on, time. It can be very effective. But if we see something like that where they aren't able to efficiently kind of close it out, they get reset very easily because of how aggressive they are.
This is really good. Tracer pushing the payload to Diva. His Forza come down. Oh. Throws pulse bomb isn't able to connect. Race with 3 with a blade.
Yeah, the Dragon Blade, the Nano Blade, gonna find 3, gonna finish off the last remaining survivor of Nova as well. HCC is just gonna be able to push this in. I don't think Nova can come back fast enough in order to stop this push. And we have Genji here just holding spawn down, making sure that they can't.
And just like that, HCC captures first point and is looking to follow through with this spawn camp.
Yeah, and this is very optimal. They definitely want to make sure that they're able to get as much room to go as far as they can. Getting that extra time for getting the payload in is definitely going to be helpful as well. They were running low, so now they have about 2.5 minutes remaining here. They're going to want to keep their foot on the pedal. They want to keep going accelerator.
Somehow HCC finds 2 picks on the low ground. It seems like the D.Va on the airplane was a distraction, and they're really punishing these people near forklift.
Ooh. Yeah, D.Va Bomb coming down, gonna find 1. Winston ult not gonna find anyone, and ultimates are just trading back and forth. Ooh. Wow.
That was really well played from Nova.
Yeah, very well played. A good job from the healers on HCC side to survive so long against a Tracer who's just hunting them down. But unfortunately, the rest of Nova was there to collapse, and they were just able to get a team wipe, reset everything, and force them back to spawn.
I think Nova was actually down 1 or like definitely down 1, maybe 2 players there, and was still able to hold out the payload. That's really impressive.
Yeah. I think it really comes down to communication and target awareness, you know, making sure that you're targeting the same person, making sure you're getting the healers down first, even if you're down a player.
Yeah.
Oh
this
my
Reaper
gosh.
is really punishing the front line.
Reaper is now nanoed. They have to do something about it, but it looks like HCC is just going to run back. They're also going to de-mech Chip Milk here. Nova's playing so aggressively, and they have room to do so. Optimal's going to find 1 on the Ana. Is it enough to get a pick? Is it enough to have a play start?
That is a huge pick. HCC is gonna have to force the 65 without their main healer, without Nova's main healer. Sorry.
Right.
Risaku able to turn that into another pick.
Beat's going to come down, but it's not going to be enough as Genji finds 2 here.
3.
Genji finds 3, actually, yeah.
And it's looking like HCC secures this point.
Wow, yeah, you were completely correct. The Ana pick was exactly what they needed to get back into the game in order to make that push.
And I do have to say, for that second point and the first point, it literally seemed like Risaku popping off the Genji blade, needing 2-3 picks to really secure those final points, being the game breaker, and perhaps more than a comfort pick, or maybe exactly that.
You are certainly right. I think HCC is definitely relying on this Genji to make plays, and he's not been disappointing. He's been making these big plays. He's been making everything happen.
A fat
big plays with Shadow's coming down. And they weren't able to find anything really off of it. Genji's going to find 1. Brigitte's going to find 1. Lucio's going to take out the Genji as Sham ults, taking out Brigitte. And with that, I think HCC's push is going to be officially stopped here. Nova still hunting for these stragglers, though.
That was an insane play. Lucio taking out the Genji blade. Risaku's back at 4%. That was insane.
Absolutely insane.
You hate to see it for Genji players.
But that's what Nova needs to do. They need to keep taking out this Genji. Now the McCree, or I forget, well, he has
Cassidy.
a new name.
Cole Cassidy.
Yeah, Cassidy, that's right. Taking out the Cassidy now. I don't know. The Genji was putting in so much work. I'm not sure if this Cassidy can do the same amount of work at the end here.
I feel like Genji really relies on his blade, and since he just lost his blade, McCree is a better pick for, you know, overall sustainability over time.
Yeah. We'll have to see here. Chip Milk's gonna find 1 as Winter gets taken down. Wow, actually, HCC is gonna find 3 picks here. Just 2 remaining players on Nova. Reaper gets taken down.
An absolutely insane back and forth with HCC coming out on top with the Nova with the Lucio ulti, trying to hold it off. We're in OT.
Oh my gosh, this is so close. HCC cannot get off of this point. Wow, what a beautiful shatter. Oh my gosh, Nova's gonna clean them up here. There is not much that they can do. Chip Milk just gonna be left alive, taken out. What a great hold from Nova there. HCC so close to victory, but tasting salty defeat at the end here. But this is just the beginning. This is just game number 1. This is a best of 3. We still have potentially 2 more maps to go. I'm very excited.
That was a really great map one, really competitive, but this shatter right here really sealed the deal. I think for the ever since this 3rd point started, I think Nova has switched to the Ryan, or did they have it during the airplane phase? Besides that, I think it's really hard because when you don't have a Ryan, you don't have a shield for that shatter, and it's just a ticking time bomb by the time he has a shatter. You're relying on your Winston to block the shatter, which is just incredibly hard. You have to be really on point for that, and especially when you're in OT and you have to stay on the payload, it's really difficult to counter Reinhardt ultimate.
Yes, I completely agree. Especially like the shatter can be so influential for a lot of these fights, especially as we saw there play the game, getting 3 or 4 shattered. That's instantly the push is gone. The game is lost, and your Winston will have bubble, sure, but I mean, the Ryan can just play around it, wait till bubble's down, wait till it's broken, and then shatter, and you have nothing to stop it. You have a D.Va and a Winston. You can't really do anything. I think you're right. The change to the Ryan really helped Nova secure that hold there.
But it's also, I feel like Gibraltar, just the 3rd point being annoying because even with the 2 picks that HCC and Nova for that last point there, Nova was able to just spawn back a little faster, and I just think there was just a lot of ultimates that Nova had for that last point, which is just really well played on their part.
Yeah. Well, I completely agree. Definitely the spawn advantage is something that you have to take into consideration. Sometimes it feels like it's just a contest of how many people can we throw out onto the point, you know, and eventually we'll wear them down. It doesn't really matter quite as much about the ult advantage. We'll just keep throwing out people because we can spawn fast enough. We can get there faster. So if we trade, it's a win for the defenders there because they're right there. And speaking of spawn advantage, the next map we're going to have is Assault. It's going to be Hanamura, one of the infamous 2CP maps.
2CP.
That being said, though, I do like Hanamura to an extent. I think it's a fun map to watch. Again, there are a lot of great high points for players to take up. There are a lot of interesting angles, interesting strats to enter into the site that we've seen. But again, this very first point, this choke point, can be very difficult for some of these teams to get through, especially in the collegiate scene. It can really make or break a team. I've seen people just not able to break through this first point. That choke point is so detrimental. It's so difficult to get by.
I think it's just the nature of the 2CP map design, which is why it's, I think, very unpopular for a lot of people to play. But of course, watching it competitively is a very different, case because you got a team that actually wants to win to work with you,
Yeah, it's so different from casuals to actually having a team that you can communicate with effectively. You guys are all playing together. You have strats, you have tactics in order to get through that first choke point.
Yeah, I think once you're in a team scenario, you have it literally gives you a lot of options because when you're attacking Hanamura, especially first point, you got I can only think of 3 possible entries, right? You have the main door, then you have the window on the top right. You usually have a flanker that takes the right or the left, but it's really easy to deal with because there's literally just high ground all over the first point.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how they're going to deal with this because I feel like every time you play 2CP, you got to be kind of creative because the defense is kind of standard in a way, right? There's only 3-4 points that you really have to pay attention to, and then you kind of have a good idea of how many characters are going through each of these choke points and who to send.
Yeah. What I'm really liking here is just a completely different lineup of characters. I love seeing the utilization of different characters here. On HCC's side, we are going to see on defense first, we're going to see the May and Torb. I love seeing Torb even at Shenandoah University, one of the newer DPS, King Kong Poppy, really loves the Torb. Doesn't get to play it a lot, so when we see Torbs in this game, I love the Torb. Although I would argue that they're probably better picks than the Torb, if I'm gonna be honest. But I love seeing it regardless.
I think with this kind of comp, HCC is going for like a really good first point hold. They're not looking to like completely hold them off. Just run down the clock a little bit because they do have 4 minutes. But when you have a Mei and you have a Torbjorn, you're looking to play really close on the site, just making it really difficult for the enemy team to push in.
Yeah, but I think, speaking of difficulties, this Pharah, there isn't a DPS on HCC's side that can truly deal with this Pharah. Not really any good hit scan characters to take her out, and we see Optimal struggling with it here.
Yeah, you're gonna see HCC having the funnel on the site simply because there's no way to deal with the Pharah, and it's just they need to do something to deal with this Pharah. She's gonna constantly just be peppering down, and it's really bad when you're funneled on the site like this because she just gets free shots on your backline.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening right here. Putting in so much work, Winter is just getting kill after kill after kill. There's not much that HCC can do, and Nova's gonna get this first point very quickly.
Yeah, I think with HCC's team comp, you're looking to like kind of fight early because the longer that fight goes, the more Pharah is just gonna win. It's very difficult to deal with, and the only person that you have on HCC that can deal with Pharah is the Baptiste, which is that man has to be accurate, especially with a Pharah Mercy Pocket. It's gonna be extremely hard to deal with. And Pharah already has ultimate after, I think that was like a 2-minute attack.
Yeah, it was so fast. Wow. Speaking of fast, Pharah is gonna be blown up, instantly disappearing. Winter is gonna get revived though, and has the Justice. Gonna find 2. Wow, what an absolute great play. But now the trades are coming back and forth. HCC's got to do something. There's already 2 ticks on the point. I think this is gonna be it.
Now we get to witness the beautiful 2CP Optimal with a fat pick on Symmetra.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that was almost it. It still might be just it.
HCC still holding off for just a little bit, but it's just a soldier. Wow.
Oh my god.
That is a fast 2CP right there.
That was so fast. Holy cow. I think really all of that was the fact that the Pharah was able to get the ultimate so quickly, and even though she was picked off very, very early, they were able to shield up, and the Mercy was able to get a revive on her and able to pick up 2 kills instantly with the ultimate. That's exactly what you want from your DPS. You want them to be making big plays like that, and Winter was able to do that. And since then, even though there's respawn advantage, they were able to just pick them off as they were coming out of spawn, and they weren't able to do anything about it.
Yeah, I feel like HCC really struggled to find an answer for the Pharah because it came down to a team comp thing on top of the fact so they lost first point really early with the Mei Torbjorn, which is not really like, you can't really blame the team, because you don't know what the enemy team's gonna pick.
Right.
But by the time you have that second point and you know they have a Pharah, I think it was really important for them to group up. But Nova also sent 3 or 4 people on the outside there, and were able to secure picks that way, and it was just really difficult to really hold point, because it was just a really great snowball. They were able to cap point, and then they got another pick, and just turn that into a point after just a couple minutes. I think it was like 3 minutes for them to complete Hanamura.
It was very, very fast. And I mean, we're talking about this Pharah so much and how HCC doesn't have a response to it. They still don't. They have a Symmetra and a Reaper. Again, leaving the Baptiste to really being the only character that can deal with this Pharah.
But with the Symmetra TP, there's a lot of possibilities here. Oh, Nova diving onto the Symmetra TP, destroying it, but HCC is still able to secure this high ground onto the right.
Ooh, but Optimal's gonna get taken down by Ninja Cupcake on the Mei. As an attacker, that's not what you want to see.
This becomes really difficult.
Getting the picks here. Oh my gosh, so much damage coming out as well. The Pharah just raining down shots. They're trapped in this building here. They can't do much. Winter's gonna find one again. And now they're very trapped with the Mei wall coming out as well. Yeah.
I think I feel like it was really hard to. I'm not exactly too sure how the Reaper got picked off of HCC, but by the time it was a 5v6 and you still have no answer for the Pharah, it's really bad to be funneled into that little cubby in there with Mega.
Oh my gosh, yeah, getting stuck into that building up top is so detrimental. The Pharah can just keep raining shots in. Great job from Ninja Cupcake to put the wall to ensure that they are literally trapped in there. Nowhere to go. Winter gonna pick up Optimal, who has switched to the Cassidy, trying to get some more shots, but gonna lose that duel. The Pharmacy just so difficult to deal with, so much damage coming out.
To deal with this properly, I really need to see HCC recollect and group as 6, honestly, at this point.
Yeah. They still have some time. They have about 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes to go, so they're not out of the woods yet. They just really need to group up. This Pharah is keeping them very separated here. They can't do much.
No, Ron getting aggressive at the point, and Immortality Field is used. This might be a chance for HCC.
Yeah, window goes down as
coming
well.
out. And it looks like we're just having a neutral game for both. Neither team really wanting to get aggressive here. Optimal with a huge dynamite onto Baptiste.
Yo, but a great revive from the Mercy. Justice is going to rain as well, finding Ryan. And Winter's finally going to get taken down. This may be their first death of the match, but it doesn't matter as Nova's getting very aggressive, making sure that that pick cannot be capitalized on. They're just pushing in further and further. Oh, May has the Blizzard going down. Immortality Field, great timing, but is it enough to save their players?
No, it doesn't look like it. Was a beautiful May ult, and it was a beautiful May wall to really slow HCC. HCC is still trying to push in with their 2 tanks and now a Bob. Actually able to push Nova towards site.
Now it's up to HCC to finish these picks. Window comes down. Optim's going to stand behind it, get 2. Can he find any more? And it looks like he's going to demech the Diva. Looking for the BAP now. Whew. Oh my goodness. I love watching that.
That was really nice. Optimal able to secure 2 picks to really finally push in there. It seemed like for a couple minutes they were just really struggling to get onto site, which was partially due to the Pharah. But now that they have switched to double hit scan, I think Winter's life has been that much harder.
Yeah, as we see, exactly as we're talking about it, Winter's switching off the Pharah to the Ashe because of how difficult it is to deal with all of this. Whew. And
so now we see HCC contesting top right, but it's very difficult because they have a May. May can wall you off very easily, and it just makes every push into this corridor very futile. So you're going to see a lot of teams trying to take control on this bridge and just winning the shield war.
Yeah, speaking of the May getting a little bit aggressive. Sham gonna find 1 as the Immortality Field comes down. Again, this fight. Oh, but HCC has an opportunity. They're going to find 3 here. They have to keep going. Bob is down as well. Winter's going to find Optimal.
This Diva is being such a nuisance for Winter. Eating the dynamite as well, and HCC capping almost 3.
What has happened here? We were watching Optimal or Winter over there, but now HCC's almost fully capped it. It's so close, but again, this is where respawn advantage comes in handy, as now Nova can just keep spawning over and over again.
And it looks like Nova's able to defend, but HCC with 90%, that was a really great push from HCC.
It really was, and thankfully they still have some time, so it's not quite over yet, but a good hold from Nova. If HCC is able to get this last tick, we have to talk about the time bank advantage here. Nova is sitting at just about 5 minutes versus HCC, which is dwindling down to just about a minute. If they're able to cap this point, there's going to be such a huge time discrepancy. It will be such an uphill battle for HCC.
It seemed like Reisaku getting caught there with a Bob ulti into a Fire Strike. That's actually a really filthy combo there. And it looks like HCC will need to be stalling in order to get 6.
They're gonna have to, but they can't hold out for much longer as we've just hit and passed the minute mark They have 60 seconds remaining. They have to do something here. Baptiste, I love the Bap battles, the window peeking. And I think we just about have everyone here. Optimal getting taken out by Winter there. The Pharah Ashe battle not going the way of HCC as the rest of HCC starts falling as well. 30 seconds remaining. This is such an uphill battle for HCC. They have to respawn and run it back as quickly as possible. They're gonna have to touch.
This is looking very difficult for HCC here. Also losing Amatar, losing Shatter in that exchange.
You're right. There's no Shatter on deck, while Magic Gnome on the side of Nova just about has Shatter.
HCC's final push coming in. Wall comes out. Both immortalities have been used. Optimal getting picks onto Winter.
Overtime. HCC's got to do something. They've got to keep touching. Is there anyone? D.Va's on point, but the rest of the team's been taken out. I don't think they can do anything here. It's going to go the way of Nova.
Wow.
Whew. That was pretty intense.
I would say I have to say Nova really played that map very well. I think the Ashe pocket with the Mercy on the high ground was just completely hard to deal with. I didn't really see many answers from HCC to deal with that. And it also went very downhill when when HCC's Ashe Mercy duo tried to contest the high ground over there. But it's gonna be very hard because as you're shotgunning up to get to the high ground, enemy Ashe is gonna have free shots on you. So
yeah, no, you're completely right. I think the highlight there has got to be the pharmacy from Nova, though, able to just bulldoze through the point number 1 and into point number 2. They had 5 minutes remaining. They essentially took that entire thing within like 3 minutes. It was so fast. We normally don't